Well, here I am, Dean Braxton. I'm in Oregon, and them horses back there. I don't know the names of. There's two of them. There's one over there. You can't see it, but and then there's this one right here. But the reality of it, I'm not here to talk about the horses. I'm here to talk about a subject that comes up quite often, and it's family and family in heaven. I'm in the process, really, of writing a new book called Family in Heaven, and just trying to go through the most details of that. There goes the horse. He's leaving out the scene, but that's okay. But here it is, you guys. I want to talk about family, and the reason I'm doing this is I've talked about it before, and people have been blessed by it. But you've got to understand that God is the one that created family. He's the one that established it. And it says it right here in Genesis, the first chapter, starting at the 26th verse. Then God said, let us make humankind in our own image, after our likeness, so they may rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, over the cattle, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move on the earth. And then it goes on to say this: God created humankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. And 28 says, God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it, rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, and every creature that moves on the ground. And what I'm trying to point out here is the importance of family to God. Here it is in Genesis, the first chapter, is when family is established. Family is brought together, man and woman, and then they're told to reproduce or to have other family members. And if you really think about it, they were supposed to be together forever. It's not until the third chapter of Genesis that we get the story of Adam messing up. Eve too, but Adam is the one that's given the credit for really messing up. And in doing that, now family is separated. In the book, the latest book I put together called What It Feels Like to Die, I tell people why we grieve, because we were meant to be together forever. This was not supposed to be a temporal thing in the sense of family. We were meant to be together forever. And one of the greatest things that happened to me, in the sense of coming to know that why we grieve, because we're supposed to really be able to see our family members forever. We're supposed to be able to smell our family members forever. We're supposed to be able to touch our family members forever. We're supposed to be able to hear our family members forever. But I want you to understand, family is important to God. And when we lose that aspect of that, we grieve. Us that are Christians, we don't grieve like others because we still have this spiritual connection. But in saying that to you, I really want you to understand the importance of family. So when I got to heaven, my family came to greet me in. And I always talk about my grandmother Mary being out front, and behind her was generation after generation after generation after generation of all of those that were my family that had been connected to Jesus Christ. They came to greet me in. When I say this, sometimes people get very sad because they're thinking about family members they think will not be there. And I tell the story of my Aunt Barbara and tell you how she was there, and I didn't think she would be there. It's not really upon our thoughts. It's upon Jesus Christ. And I always say, I didn't have to know her would be there or not, but he does. And so that was good to know that it was out of my hands, and it's not by my judgment. It's by what God sees. And I always tell people there's a lot of family members that they didn't think would be there. They're going to be there. It's just one of those things, because family was created to be together forever. It wasn't supposed to be a temporal thing. The other thing that people ask me is, what do they look like? In this book that I'm writing now, which will be a while before I get it out because I'm trying to put it in detail, I try to go through the essence of what my grandmother looked like in detail. And I really can't tell you in the sense, was she young, was she old, or anything like that, because there's no age in heaven. It's better than what we would call young. I know sometimes people say they had a vision, they saw a family member and they were young or something like that. But the reality of it, that's way short, because the moment you get there, you look good, and the next moment you even look better than that. But I always say she was shiny, shiny. She had a big smile, and she had pure joy. And the shininess was Jesus Christ shining out of her. The joy, I tell you guys, is past anything you could imagine. The closest I always come is us that have had children. How we held that baby in our hand for the first time. Ooh, a bug in my eye. That was no joy. But we held that baby in our hands for the first time, and the joy that we had, we could not express. And then in the big smile is there's no worry. You don't have to worry about your family members having trouble in heaven. You know, God, there's nothing to have trouble. I always tell people everything's right. We fit. And it's past peace. There's nothing to be peaceful from. That's what your family members are experiencing there. And they will come to greet you in. More than you could imagine will come to greet you. And that's what got me. It wasn't with just one generation. It was generation after generation after generation after generation after generation came to greet me in. Family's important to God. I just want to put that out here. Let you know, you that know Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, keep on praying for your family. Don't go by what you see. Go by what God wants. God wants them there more than you do. Again, I just want to say family's important to God, and whether you like it or not, you're going to be with your family in heaven forever, and it's going to be okay. They're going to be right. You're going to be right. You're going to get along with them. They're going to get along with you. They're not going to have any more attitude, and you're not going to have any more attitude. So just take what I say. I know this is a little bit long. If you want more information, go to deanbraxton.com. If you liked it, send it off to other people. Let them hear about family in heaven. Also, if you have a comment, make a comment on it. A lot of times I don't get enough time to answer the comments. Forgive me for that, but there's a lot of them that come in sometimes. But again, remember, family is important to God, rather, and go to deanbraxton.com.